Yo, what it is? What's going on? So essentially, what's happening? I hope we get some people in here, but basically, what this is basically just I'm gonna have a chat with my boy Tshego, just about like a bunch of stuff of being like an up and coming artist because I am releasing a tape called Mardness, and that tape is it's basically me using a little bit of my platform just to put niggas on that I think really should have a bigger voice. And what I'm gonna do with that is I'm going to actually be putting up what do you call this thing? Yo, what's up, Aubryn? I'm gonna be putting up a tape on the 30th. Yeah, on the 30th of March, next week Tuesday. I'm putting up a tape called March Madness, and the tape is going to have quite a few, like actually most of it, all of it is artists that you might or might not know. A lot of them are like bubbling under. Some of them you might have never heard of them. Guys like Michael Neris, guys like what's this guy's name? I'll tell you now. Guys like Big Hash. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people, man. It's gonna be a lot of people, and what the whole thing about it is like, so basically it's Big Hash. No, not the Big Hash. Sorry, BOG. There we go. Say Big Hash. BOG is gonna come in and out. BOG's got 2 songs. Michael Neris has got 1. Asen has got 1. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of people. A lot of different people are gonna be on that tape. So what it is for me is just literally just trying to like put that on and go off and have like oh snap, I did that by mistake, and have a whole thing of putting these guys on to see the talent and open up the industry to more people, because like I feel like our industry kind of, especially in hip hop, man, like we don't put nobody on in hip hop. We really don't put nobody on in hip hop. So yeah, that's basically it. But I'm gonna be having a conversation with Tshego a little later, just kind of getting on, speaking about like the journey of being like a March Madness type of artist, where you literally would have the difficulties of being an up-and-coming artist. Like, he's no longer up-and-coming differently, but like, yeah, like, you'd have quite a few challenges, and I want to know what those challenges are and how you overcome those challenges. So I see that he's here, my nigga. Like, what's going on? Let's go, bro. Request or what? Where's this request situation? Yo, Tshego, request, my brother. You are needed to request or what? Let's see. There we go. I'm gonna be sipping, and I'm gonna be cussing, so I hope people don't be getting on me. What's going on, man?
Chilling, boy. What's poppin'?
Hey, man, I'm chilling. I'm super chilled.
What it do, boy?
I'm easy, man. What's going on with you? How's the COVID? How's the family? Hope you're good.
We chilling, boy. Come on, man. Be easy, boy. How's it going over there?
Talk. This COVID thing is wild, bro. I don't even count.
Yeah, it is really peaceful in the company. It is really really, 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 really wild. But you know what? We got to do what we have to do, man. Like, you can't always, you can't always get what you want. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. It's life. It's life.
So outside of gigs, like, how's it affecting you on your thing? Outside of just gigs, outside of gigs, because usually, like, with us, it's like gigs, like niggas, like I know, like, a lot of cancellations came up on my side as soon as that first lockdown phase happened. So like, it's kind of, I've seen like a lot of us, like, I'll be doing concerts now on IG and things like that. Like, how is it affecting you, like, in terms of your creativity? I know, like, creatively, I think this is like the best time, like, to be actually, if you can't go nowhere, what else can you do?
Hey, man, you got to be creative, dog. Like, you honestly have to be creative. In terms of the gigs, like, yo, we all got fucked up on that one, bro. Like, we all got fucked up on that one. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, my schedule was pretty strong up until December. You know what I mean? My bookings were pretty good up until December. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this thing just decided to come and do what it's doing now. So, you know,
dog,
so
like,
with us, it's like, you know how we get paid, bro. You know, you get paid, you know, half up front, and that secures your booking, and you get the rest, you know, before the performance. So, I mean, you can only imagine the people, imagine the promoters, imagine these event organizers, imagine what they're going through right now, because they're paid. You understand? They're paid, and they thought they would have the money back at a certain point to pay their staff at a certain point, and now it's not happening that way. It's crazy, you know.
It's wild, man. Like, I mean, for me, I think it became a reality before we even got like a case in South Africa. Like, it became a reality for me when, because you know, I do like the US, I do like what's the South by Southwest every year. When they canceled South by Southwest, yo, let me tell you something, bro. My heart broke immediately. Like, immediately, you know.
Oh, they canceled that, huh?
Yo, my nigga, they went all the way on it. Like, yo, dog, like, and the thing about it is, like, I had just gotten like I was renewing my visa and everything the day before, so it was like, yo, okay, cool, visa's in, you know, I'm already hitting up all the promoters that I usually work with and things like that. Yo, let me tell you something, my nigga, straight up cancel. Like, they were just like, yo, forget about this thing, forget about the whole thing. What's funny is like, I'm used to like having conversations with dudes on the phone, especially like in the US, you know. Yeah. Everybody just didn't even bother to call me. It was just like straight up email, like, yo, we canceling. So yeah, it was like, man, yeah, no.
Especially with events like that, right? Yeah. Imagine, like, you know, some people, well, events on that scale, the people working on that event, sometimes that's the only thing they do in the whole year. Like, that's all they're doing the whole year. They're just prepping for this one event that's happening, and that's gonna sort out the rest of their year. You understand?
Yeah.
So like, imagine. So, you know, it's like, bruh, you need to remember that we're all in this together. You know what I mean? No one's special. It's affecting all of us the same way. You know, it's affecting us more than others. I understand it. Yeah, we're all in this shit together, man.
Yeah.
We're all in this shit together.
It's wild, man. Like, essentially, like, for me, like, what this whole thing has taught me is just like, yo, be prepared for any eventuality. You know what I mean? Just get into it. But I will say this: I've appreciated it because it gave me a lot of time to think, and like a lot of time to like actually get my tape together and shit, like get that done, and you know. And that's kind of like what we're gonna talk about as well, like outside of the tape and everything. But like, the reason why I wanted to have a conversation with you because I've known you since high school, man. High school.
Yeah. We've known each other for years, man, since high school. Man.
Yeah, so like now, it's like you know, you're one of the few people I've had the privilege of seeing go from where okay, so I'm gonna say this, like, from Toti Click, please, dog. Like, I'm gonna bring up I'm gonna bring up history, nigga.
Hey, that's crazy. So in high school, I was in a crew called Toti Click. You understand? That was my first rap group that we terrorized the city. You understand?
What's crazy is I was in a rival crew. What did we Loudmouth. Yeah, I was
We had beef with
like,
crew at some
point.
Yeah,
like it was like you know, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, man, like we was wilding as kids, man. Like, what were we doing, dog?
We were actually wilding as kids. But you know what's crazy, right? You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
What's dope about it is, like, even my squad had beef with Casper. While we were growing up, and you know, that turned into like a whole physical thing, and niggas pulling up at parties and like some real shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I like about that is, you know, as soon as we left high school and niggas left Mafike and niggas moved to Joburg and Pretoria, and whatever, we were all like, you know what I mean? We were all like one with each other, bro.
Yeah.
Me and Cass were cool. All of a sudden, after high school, me and Cass were hella cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit never happened. You know what I mean? Same with you. Same with everyone, dog. You know what I mean? So that's what's dope about it. We were just wilding as kids, man. We were being kids, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I think like it was a track you guys took out, dog. When I used to rap, like, I think there's two reasons why I stopped rapping. One, it's the first time I'm ever gonna admit this shit, right? So the first one was you guys flamed me in a diss song. I forgot the name of the joint. Yo, you guys went in on me, dog. Like, I was like, yo, I have no rebuttals to this. I have nothing to say back to this.
Yeah, I don't remember doing this song. I don't remember doing this song towards you, though. That might have been one of the other niggas. But
no. It was Vivek. Like, Vivek went in.
It was Vivek.
Vivek went in. Like, he did a verse on a joint, and I knew, like, every line there was like, that's me.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
But yo, tell us. So what's up with you, my nigga? What's up with you? What's up with you, bro? Since Pandamore, I think that was your first single, right?
Yeah, that was my first single. I think that's the first one and the most recognizable one. I did do like two other ones after that, you know. Shout out to you, dog. Like, shout out to you for jumping on that. I think like you were the first person ever that I read, like day after I made that beat. I literally went, and I remember telling you, like, yo, I made this beat literally trying to get a feature from you first, before anybody else jumped on the joint, you know. And I think we did that, and it took us a year to get that song completed.
Yeah, it took us a year. It didn't take us a year. It took you a year, nigga.
It took me a year.
It didn't take us a year. It took you a year. You understand?
I think like the biggest problem in that situation for me was just like learning how to source features, like, which is still a bit of a challenge for me till today, you know. But it was just learning how to source features, man. But like, I think the hook that you put on made it very easy for niggas to go, okay, cool, I want in on that. You know what I mean? It's just like niggas not delivering on time or whatever. But after that, I think I just focused more on, I realized my mistakes. Like, one of the things that I realized very quickly with Pandamore was the fact that, like, I had no management. Like, first of all, I was homeless. I was sleeping in my whip when this song was released, right? I had no management, and I had like a loan from like a friend. You know, a couple of friends loaned me money to make sure that I can pay somebody, not payola, but pay people like a PR agent to make sure that it gets on radio and it gets on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it never turned into shows afterwards. I thought, like, you know, it's easy. Like, you release a song, if it's a hit, niggas start
you drop a song, some PR, you get a show. You know, the shows just start coming. Nah.
And that's not how it goes, dog. That's not how it goes, my nigga.
That's not how it goes, boy.
You know? And like I had to learn that the hard way, man. Like, I mean, if you think about how much money I put into that, like, you know, and at the time I was still working Kentari, you know, as well, you know, so it helped me like become a bit more like of a boss this is the best way I can say it, like become a bit of a boss in terms of like how I treat this whole situation of like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have to actively go after like my money. Like, I had to talk to Kentari, like, yo, I need a bit of profit share in this, I need a bit of this, and that's how I funded like the video and everything. Like, it was just like, you know, going forward with that. But as time went by, I think I got like a bit of fatigue behind how much work it is to do it on your own without a whole team. You know what I mean? Like, when you don't have, you can't focus on music, you have to focus on, you spend 5 days trying to like call people, trying to get the song up, trying to get maybe a launch party going, trying to do this and running a club, and then, you know, having like your own personal issues go on and whatever, you know? And one of the things that like, I think that you've discussed before, and with your like, I know you're a very open person, especially with your fans, man. Like, you always tell your fans, like, yo, this is what's going on in my life, this is what's happening, you know? You're not shy to do that. So, like, with me, like, this is, like, one of the first times I think I have admitted it, like, I've admitted it publicly that, like, yo, I've had, like, chronic depression since I was, like, 19. So that's been something that's like a daily fight. So some days like it's bad and I'm offline for like.
So by the way, what are you doing for that? What treatment are you going through for that?
Dude, I did like in my first year of varsity, I did what do you call these things? Antidepressants, but like what it did was it offsetted a problem, like, which I still have now. Like it offsetted a problem of now it kicked in my insomnia. So now I barely sleep. I sleep like 4 or 5 hours a day, like max 4 or 5 hours.
Are you still on the medication, or that's a result?
No, I'm not. I jumped off like probably a year later, but I never recovered. Like, in that year, the amount, like, my body just acclimated to that, and it's been like that since. You know? So like for me, I literally like, I think in 2013, 2012, I just delved into like, you know what, religion, I'm gonna do with religion. And I just realized like a lot of the time, like, these things are just some things that you can deal with on your own. Like, I feel like if you have a strong enough personality, it's something that you can deal with on your own with a little bit of blood, of course. You know what I mean?
That's how I am. And it's not always a good thing.
And meditate.
It's not always a good thing. It's just my character.
Yeah.
It's just that's part of my character. You know, before I go and ask someone else for help or advice or whatever it is, I try, you know what I mean? And I remember this being a problem from the age of like 7. Shit. I might have been in like grade 2 or 3, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I remember like on one of my report cards, my teacher, you know, writing to my parents like, Tshego never asked for help.
Yeah.
He wants to do everything for himself. You know, he's too much of a perfectionist. This is at the age of 6, 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've always been like that. I do realize it's not always the best thing to do, but it's helped me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
You know what I mean?
So,
I internalize a lot of shit.
Yeah, like, so for me, what it turned into, like, was just literally, like, every time, like, now how I deal with this, I think you can kind of feel it when you start going down. Like, I feel like it's a slope. And at the top of the slope going down, or the decline of going down, I immediately just stop everything that I'm doing, and I'll take a day off or maybe two, and just literally deal with, why am I here? Why do I feel like this? What's going on with this? You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that, like, for a long time,
I think that's good. I think that's good. You need to take breaks, and you take breaks frequently. I take breaks all the time, dog. Within a week, like, I'm taking 2-3 breaks. You know what I mean? If I feel like mentally this is what I need, I'm not in the mood to talk to anyone. I'm not in the mood to see anyone. I'm not answering any calls. You know what I mean? I just need to take this myself. So that's definitely something that needs to be practiced a lot.
No, it is. It is. I think like that, and also what I've learned to do is just kind of build a support structure around me, like, of people that I know, like, okay, cool, these people are not in my industry, they might not understand what I'm going through, but just being able to talk to them, like, and being able to go, yo, this is what I'm dealing with at the moment, like, helps out a lot in terms of, like, how I internalize what's going on. Like, with Moon being like, we're very close, and I call her my sister, so she's one of the people that within the industry, if something's going on that I feel like, you know, I might feel like I should have gotten that show instead of this person or whatever, you know, and that happens every now and then, like, especially when you have a competitive spirit. That's the one thing that people don't understand. Like, Mathtown, if you grew up in Mathtown, you have a super, super competitive spirit, especially if you're in the music space, because of the people that came before.
Because it's so small, and, you know, most of the niggas that came out of there were greats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you already know that when you say you're from Mathtown, people are putting you up against, like, great people. You know what I mean? They don't expect you to come with some, like, you know, half-ass shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, that was the whole thing. It's like, yo, when I get very competitive sometimes, and I just kind of lose focus of, like, yo, it doesn't matter. That's just one show. Like, you know, if you look at what your main goal is, your next 5 years, your next 10 years, you know, like, focus on that and focus on making that happen. And the rest is the rest, man. Just, like, deal with everything as it comes. Be more, like, I think also the one thing that I had to learn very quickly is be more solution-based than I should be thinking about, like, yo, what the problem is. Because I think that's also what kind of spans, like, I don't know with you, but with me, what kind of kicks off my depression is me focusing more on what the problem is instead of focusing on what the solution could be. Like, okay, cool, I'm dealing with this.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The thing is, I'm very solution-based. And my girl gets on me all the time, you know, when I'm like, yo, I'm about the solution. I understand there's a problem. I don't want to talk about the problem, actually. You understand?
That's a waste of time.
I want to talk about the solution. That's me. You understand? Like, I get over things very easily. This takes me back to when I lost my album, when I lost the first draft of Pink Panther, which was at the time called.
That happened? Wait, that happened?
You remember my music got jacked? Remember my
shit, yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So my shit got jacked, boy.
Yeah.
So, you know, during that time, I got over it in one day. I remember just sitting there. Like, I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was about to have a mental breakdown. Like, I felt it coming. Like, I legit felt it coming. I wasn't feeling like I was inside my body. You know what I mean? I felt like I was, like, this is not me. Like, this cannot be happening type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I just slapped myself. I'm like, bro, like, you know what? Hey, man, I'm not dead. I'm not going to die. There must be a reason why this shit is happening. And I'm not going to disappoint God. So let me get my ass up. And let me prove to him why the fuck I'm here, and why I should still be here, and why I should still be blessed. You know what I mean?
And why he gave you that talent, man. That's another
exactly.
thing.
So I don't believe in crying over shit for too long. Like, realize it's happening, cool. Come to terms with it. Understand that, yo, this is what the fuck is happening, and there's nothing I can do about it. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna sit here and cry about it? And for how long? Like, and me crying about it? Am I waiting for someone to come in and do something about it, or what? At least give yourself a time period. Like, yo, today I'm gonna cry about it.
Yeah.
And when today's over, we done with that bullshit. And we
move on to the next.
Yeah. So that's my attitude. That's my attitude with everything, dog. And you know, my mom will tell me that I don't deal with shit. You know, my girl will tell me that I don't deal with shit. Like, you know, I just, like, sweep shit under the... No, dog. I've dealt with it. I'm just over it very fast, dog. I'm gone, you know what I mean?
You've made the decision to go, like, man, this is not worth my time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But actually, it's crazy that you brought God into this, because, like, I think that another thing that people don't know about you is the fact that, like, you, like me, are a PK. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
both my parents are ministers.
Same here, bro. Same here, bro.
Yeah,
you know
crazy.
what I mean? It's wild.
Crazy.
It's wild. Like, how do you beat that? Because I don't like with me, like, I know sometimes, like, I have to, I think, like, with you, I think, I don't know if it's your parents or you just don't play, you just got into a point of, like, yo, this is me and this is how I'm going to do with this, you know? But, like, I know sometimes, like, I want to make a decision based on, like, me and what I want to do. And then I'll be sitting there like, man, like, you know what? Forget this. I can't do that because, you know, how's the church going to view it? How's my dad going to view it? You know what I mean? And, like, for me, it's been, like...
Hey, man, I do not subscribe to nothing. My man, I'm more spiritual than I am religious.
Okay.
Because that's the way my parents raised me. You know what I mean? Like, my parents told me, hey, nigga, here's the Bible. We're gonna teach you this Bible. You know what I mean? You're gonna go and get confirmed. You know what I mean? You're gonna go to Sunday school. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you the basics. Discipline. We're gonna teach you discipline while you're at this shit.
Yeah.
But we want you to ask us questions. If you don't agree with something, tell us why you don't agree with it, and let's talk about it. And I honestly believe that I taught my parents a lot more about religion and spirituality than they thought I could have ever been responsible for. Let me say their kids. Their kids taught them, you know, more than they ever thought, you know, they learned from us because of that, like allowing us to ask them, like, yo, why is this like this? Actually, you say this and you say God would, you know, but why does it say this like this here? But that doesn't make sense to me because that's not godly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just became like an open conversation. So with us, I'm more spiritual than I am religious. You know, sometimes I do ask myself, is there a God? You know, sometimes I'm very adamant that there is a God.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not like, yo, I'm not like a religious being. I haven't been in church in over 10 years. But I grew up going to church. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I moved out of the house, I was 17. I'd never been to church. I've never been to church. When I moved out of the house at 17, I've never been to church after that. You know,
it's been a wrap since then.
And my parents was like, hey, man, come on. This guy was under our roof for 17 years. He's out of our roof now. Like, cool. We've taught him to become a good man. We know he's a responsible human being. They know I'm a smart nigga. They know I'm responsible. You know, they know I fight for what I believe in. They know, you know, I've been to jail once, whatever, but they know at the same time that when I get out, I can be like, yo, I can be like, no, I've been locked up once, but I haven't been to prison. You know what I mean? But it's like one of those things where I know I can call the next day and be like, yo, I was locked up last night, but, you know, it's not my fault. This is what happened, and, you know, it's going to be good. And she knows when I say it's going to be good, it's going to be good. Like, they don't have to stress. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've never been a child where they've had to come bail me out of any trouble. I've always taken care of my own trouble. You know what I mean? I've always taken care of my trouble. So they've always appreciated that. So, you know, there's not much they can complain about. Like, I've chosen my own way of life, and it seems to be working. You know, what are you gonna tell me? You know,
what else can you do after that?
What are you gonna? And how are your parents? How are your parents about that? Like, your relationship with your parents, specifically when it comes to religion.
Like, for me, I choose a little bit of what you're saying, but a little. I feel like I can't define God except for what the Bible tells me. You know what I mean? So I still very much like prescribe to like, okay, I'm gonna read the Bible, you know, to learn the person that I'm praying to, you know, or the being that I'm praying to, you know. What we don't agree on is the construct of religion. Like, for me, it's like they are the go to church every single, like, you know, every single Saturday, or every Sunday.
Yeah, they're deep in the system.
Keeping the system. And for me, it's like, man, like, I don't need to prescribe to the system. Like, I don't believe in 80% of the system. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have like issues. Like, for instance, I try and have as many open conversations with, like, especially my father being like the pastor, because I grew up in like a very ministerial family. Like, I mean, my godfather's a pastor, my dad is a pastor, my mom's a pastor, my cousin's a pastor, my aunt's a pastor. You understand what I mean?
Yo,
and like,
no. That is hectic.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's everybody, dog. It's everybody. So like, that's literally what it becomes. Is like, it's harder to have like those type of conversations when you have this, you know, when everybody in the family majority is like going, I'm either a deacon in church, or I am a pastor, or I am a evangelist, you know? Makes it very difficult like to have like open conversations with everybody when you're telling them like, hey man, look, I personally don't think this is the way to go about it. Like I remember I had like a big fight with like my family about like the whole homosexuality thing. And I was like, they were my dad. Like we saw like I was greeting a friend of mine, and we were in Bloom, and I was greeting a friend of mine who's gay, you know, and he's out. And I greet the homie, like, yo, we have a full-on conversation, and like I get back in the whip, and like everybody has sideways comments to talk about that. And I was like, hey man, look, like I accept people for who they are, dog. Who am I to change the judge?
Yeah, that's some weak shit. That's some
You know what I mean? That's not my job. Though. My job on earth is to do what God has positioned to, like, what God has put me here to do. I'm not here to turn people from whatever life. No, I don't even want to say lifestyle. Like, I'm not here to tell people that the way that they're born is wrong. Like, that's not my job. Like, if you've chosen that, if that's your mantle, keep it to you. Don't bring it to my
as long as you're not hurting anyone.
As long as you're not hurting nobody.
Not disrespecting anyone. You're good.
So like that was just that, like for me it's just always been like I think I do more than I speak. So like I literally show them that like, yo, I'm not about this, because I think speaking to them, it becomes a debate, and when you're all debating your point on your own against 3, 4, 5 people, you're gonna lose that debate though. You know what I mean? So for me it just became a thing of like, you know what man, did this, I'm just gonna do me, and we'll have a conversation thereafter. You know what I mean? Like do first, talk later. You know what I mean? We'll talk about this at a later time if you choose to talk about it. If you don't, man, that's cool, man. Like that's whatever to me. That's literally.
But in terms of support for your career and the things that you want to do, have they been supportive?
Not up until, funny enough, other than my father, other than my father and my aunt, majority of my family felt like I was, because I remember I dropped out of varsity. Like I literally dropped out of varsity. Went, yo, I want to do music. Like, I've been trying to tell you niggas don't want to listen. So I dropped out. Luckily for me, I dropped out. Now, even you, my friend.
Yeah, I dropped out, bro.
Now, though, I dropped out, and like, I think I was left for like 6 months when I dropped out. I was like, yeah, dog, I'm like, this is a trap. Like, if I get this degree, you're going to force me to get a job, and I'll never actually get to do what I want to do, you know? So 6 months before, decided to go, yo, off with this whole situation. Dropped it, right? Dropped the whole situation. And then luckily for me, I'd won some DJ competition, and then that gave me an opportunity to go study at Soul Candy, study music and production at Soul Candy. So then that was like my reason for dropping out. I was like, yo, guys, I can only take this thing next year. So I'll go back to varsity eventually. That was like the promise. That, yeah, I'll go back to varsity eventually, which I never did. But yeah. So I went to school. Moved back to Joburg because I'd left, and then I moved back to Bloom and study there, and then I moved to Joburg, did my year, and never went back, dog. So like I think like with my family, like after that, like it just became a thing of like, dog, you're not serious about life, you're not serious about what you want to do, like, you know, they just saw it as like a waste of time. And then at a certain, I think the point where everything changed with everybody was when Panda Mo's video went on TV. When Panda Mo got on TV, yo, let me tell you something. The tune of the family changed. Like, they all did a 360. It was like, yo, how do we support? How do we do this? Like, and it's like, yo, but like, where you been? Like, where you niggas been? Like, where was the support when I needed it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where's all of this been? You know, but like now they're like super supportive. Like, I think I barely get to hear about like, yo, maybe you should go back to school. I think more now they've turned into becoming like a solution, like my own hub of solutions. Like when I come up to like, yo, I need to do this. Like even with this tape for the longest time, it's been like a dream of mine to do like a tape like this. Because with Kentari, when I started Kentari, it was more about, my message was, okay, cool, I'm gonna put on niggas that don't get the put on. That Sumo's not booking you, Taboo's not booking you. And no hate to those clubs. I understand like their business model and how it works. You know, it's not modeled to have an unknown.
No, we understand. You know what I mean? We understand.
Yeah, we get it. You know, but like I wanted to build a different business model to go, okay, cool. We can still have the Sumo numbers of a crowd, but have more unknown.
Look at this nigga asking me why am I not at home? So nigga, I'm home. Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about?
What's going on?
Some nigga in the comments, why are you not at home till home? What do you mean why am I not home? This is home, dog. What are you talking about?
Nah, nigga, I think niggas are expecting you to be in Meth Town than in Joburg.
Like I said, man, I moved out of the house when I was 17. Shit. Yeah, I understand. Like, I haven't had a room at my mom's house since I was 17. You know.
For real?
So there's that. Yeah,
Hey man,
continue. What were you saying, bro?
yeah, so I was saying, like, you know, like the whole situation is like when I started the whole Kentari thing, like it was more about putting like niggas on. Like I could see that there's a gap and like people are not, they say like on face value, we say that we're trying to expand the industry, we're trying to put like unknowns on. But like to be honest, you need to be a certain level of unknown for niggas to fuck with you. Like, you know, you can't be like a nigga in Math Town, literally just dropping your music off of the bat, like on its own. Oh snap, did it pause? I think it paused on your side. Yo, you back? Okay, cool, but anyway. So basically just to keep until Tshego comes back, I'm gonna just explain like so put on oh snap. Okay. I'm guessing he'll be back. Hoping he'll be back. So with Kentari, I literally just wanted to put on like unknown artists, man. Like, I mean, at the time, like I had nowhere to play. Like, so my decision was just like, okay, cool. I have two options in this whole situation. I either like I either like sit here and not have a solution to where I'm gonna play, how I'm gonna play, or I find a place to do this and I put other people on. So like literally, well, that's what happened. Like I found the club, they were willing to work with me, and we started this thing. We started Kentari Fat Thursdays, and it became, what's lucky for me was it became like a wild situation. Like, you know, it became a wild situation. Prince, Orion 96, and guys, I'm gonna take everybody's views a little later. I just want to finish the conversation with Tshego when he does come back. Actually, let me just, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this. While I wait. All right, let's go, bro. What you finna say? Damn, dog. Like, for real? Let's see this. That's not me farting. That's just me doing shit with my mouth. Like, please. Don't be out here having me on these Insta streets saying I be farting or whatever. How? So, okay, cool. Anyway, so, like, yeah, man. So, with Kentari, that's what it is. Like, I started that for that reason. And, like, it just became, like, one of those things that I wanted to grow the whole situation. Like, I wanted it to get to a point where, you know, you have artists being discovered at Kentari. And like for me, it happened. Like, you know, Nasty C's first performance in Johannesburg was at Kentari. That's why he mentions it in the song with MT, and MT as well. MT blew up from Kentari. We got a lot of yeah. Scotty Gray worldwide says like your ideas. Yeah, a lot of people got like the opportunity, and that's why I left Kentari since then. Like I've left Kentari. It's been like I think 2 years now that I've been out of the club, and I just wanted to do it more on a musical base than it is live based. Like with the club, it was great, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough, and I wanted to do something that was going to definitely like impact people on a musical base, because like niggas perform and they go home, but like what else is done for them thereafter, you know? And that was something that kept bothering me for a very, very long time. So my decision just became like, hey man, look, I'm a definitely then do this, you know, just put this tape together. And it's been 2 years of just trying to put this tape together, and I finally found the managers. Yo, you back?
Yo, I'm back. Yo, my phone been tripping, bro.
All right. What you up to? Are you finna lace a song while you doing this, or you mixing a drink? What's going on?
Huh?
It looks like you're walking towards that mic stand, like you finna rap or something, nigga.
Nah, but it's always ready, boy. It's always ready to go.
You always ready to hit it.
Always ready to go, dog. I'm getting lit though.
How lit are you getting though?
Shout out to the people at home. Shout out, you know, to quarantining and shit. But yeah, where were we, man?
Yeah. So we were just talking about like the whole situation when it comes to like I think I was just explaining like the whole Kintari thing. I kind of kept going, you know, after your phone had problems, but just to catch you up, I was just kind of explaining what was going on with what like the inspiration behind Kintari was. Like it was just like, yo, I want to make sure that like everybody's got a stage, you know, to be on, you know. Let's not close off the doors to everybody, you know. And also like kind of like, and I wanted to just ask you like, so since like TC, okay, so since you had TC, right? And then, and by the way, guys, it's still saved. This is how your number's still saved on my phone, dog. Tshego used to go by the name of Shag the Gorilla. That was my boy's name. Yeah, as a rapper, you know. Like, when he's 360, like, wait, what made you change the name, dog? Like, what made you change from like Tshego to Shag, from Shag to Gorilla?
First of all, Shag, just the name Shag, right? That was a nickname. That was a nickname given to me, you know, in high school. Because of my stint with TC. After school, we would always go to the girls' hostels. Always.
Yeah.
After every single day, we would go to the girls' hostels and we would chill with the girls. But so one of the niggas just decided to call me Shag. One of the niggas who wasn't in the crew, right? One of the niggas just hating on the outside. Like he's hating at this time, right? But he's a funny guy. But he's hating. And he doesn't want to just come out and be like, yo, you hanging around the girls too much. So he decided to start with, hey, Shaggy, yay, with the girls a lot. And then it turned into Shag. And then everyone started calling me Shag. Then I was like, all right, cool. Then my mom started calling me Shag. I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, you know what? If this is gonna be it, then I need to add something on my own, you know, to make it hard at the end. Then I added the gorilla. And then, but the gorilla is like the AKA of it. So Shag, you know what I mean? But the gorilla is the AKA of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, after a while, I think you realize, you know, moving through the industry, like you said, you learned some mistakes when you hit your first drop. You learned what worked, what didn't work. So I kept getting a lot of, this is like a kids show type shit. You know, do you have another name, you know, that we can refer to as?
Cool.
Because
okay, cool.
Because it's like kids watching and shit, you know what I mean? And we don't want them to ask questions, you know what I mean? It's like Young Jeezy. It's like Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy used to go by Snowman. And Snowman means drugs, you know what I mean? Drugs. So it got to the point where they couldn't call him Snowman because it's not like, you're not going to be a household name with a name like Snowman meaning what it means, you know what I mean? So I just took some time to myself. No one told me to. I just took some time to myself and said, you know what? I'm going to take my career seriously now. I'm going to put all the effort I can into it. And I'm going to change my name back to my government name. I'm going to put the power back in my hands. And I'm just going to go with the name that my mom gave me because I don't have another nickname. You know what I mean? So anything else for me wouldn't be organic. And I'm like, that most organic nigga you'll fucking meet, you know what I mean? If it's forced, I'm not about it. If it feels awkward, I'm not about it. You know what I mean? So you know, I was comfortable with my birth name, man. So that's what happened.
I bet that makes sense. So like basically, dog, starting off, okay, so we covered TC, right? Then you were part of a group called Hash One. I think you were with Sanji.
No, I wasn't part of Hash One. I was on the same label.
Oh, okay.
To Mafia.
Oh, you were part of. Oh, okay, cool. So to Mafia.
So
on
the Sutu Mafia label, it was KT, Mojote, myself, Cadbury, Hash One.
Okay, cool.
Am I forgetting anyone else? I think I'm forgetting some people, man. Because there was a lot. There was like 9 people at a certain time.
Denny?
Hash One wasn't a group at that time. Everyone in Hash One was a solo artist. So it was was Alan, it was fucking Sanji, it was Ninja, Caddy, myself, KT. It was 9 of us. So we're missing, I think Gordo at some point in time. Gordo wasn't there. Yao, I think at some point was a part of Sutsumaki. There were like 9 of us at one point, and it was a lot. You know, and I gave them 3 years. I told them, yo, I'm gonna give you 3 years, and after 3 years, I gotta step if nothing happens. So
if nothing's going on,
that's what happens. But like, you know, me and Glenn kept a working relationship. Me and Sutu Mafia kept a working relationship. Me and Hash One kept a working relationship. You know what I mean? Just like the family tree situation.
It's still all love. It's still all love. It's just
all love.
You know, if it's not working, if the chemistry is not working, the way you guys work is not working, then, you know, it's counterproductive to the cause. You know what I mean? So you got to just take your step back and do what you need to do.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, here's the thing I wanted to find out, right? So, like, being, like, so you went, I know when we kind of reunited back in Joburg, you were still very independent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you signed, which I'm not going to lie, when you signed, I was like,
who did I sign with?
This is the one. You signed with when you signed with Family Tree.
Okay, yeah, but I never physically signed.
Oh yeah, but like you. So wait, I know you've said it in interviews before that like it was an affiliation thing. It wasn't exactly like there was a full-on contract in front of you with Family Tree and whatever, you know. But for the greater part, I think like everybody thought that you signed with Family Tree. You know what I mean? So like. Now that you've actually officially signed with somebody,
let's teach the kids something, right? Let's teach the kids.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Nigga trying to call me at the wrong time, dog. Damn. Listen, let's teach the kids something, right?
Yeah.
Power, right? Power.
Yeah.
What someone needs from you, what you need from someone else, you know, how much of something someone needs from you and how much of something you need from someone else, right?
Yeah.
Always ask yourself before you get into any type of shit, any type of signing or like contractual fucking agreement, right? Always ask yourself.
Yeah.
What am I gaining? What am I gaining here that I can actually like calculate? Right, because when we're talking contracts,
what are the tangibles? What are the tangibles in this whole situation?
You know what I mean? Like, what is this worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is this actually worth? So when someone approaches you, or when you approach someone, and you're like, "Yo, I don't know how much this shit is worth," right? There's no way we can calculate this shit. There's no way at this point in time we can understand how much the shit is gonna be worth.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of you being my artist. Right? Instead of you signing to me 360, right?
Yeah.
Meaning now I would have to give you money. Now I'd be responsible for everything behind your career. The marketing, the PR. You become my baby, basically.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, switch it up and say, you know, rather let's partner. Let's go 50-50 in this. You know what I mean? Let's go 50 and 50 in this, which means now I don't have to sign over my rights to you. I can keep my rights. But we can both grow. And then when we get to the point where we can talk about the tangible shit, now like, yo, okay, now my expenses are this much a month. Now we have to drop 5 videos a year. We have to agree that I'm dropping 5 videos a year. We have to agree that I'm dropping 1 album every year or 1 album every 2 years or, you know, whatever the agreement is. But once it becomes tangible, that's when you can talk about like you know, signing a fucking contract. But otherwise, what the fuck are you signing a contract about? You know what I mean? The first time I had a conversation with Universal, was I think like 3-4 years ago, right? 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Sony as well, maybe 5 years ago and 2 years ago, and 3. So every year, right? So every single year. I would have a conversation with labels. Every year I would have a conversation, you know, get into a meeting, you know, and basically get down to how much are you willing to give me if I sign at 360? You know what I mean? Because you want me to sign, right? But if you want me to sign so bad, how much is my signing worth? And they would tell me all the time, okay, so you go back and you come back and you tell us how much, you know, you want for 360 signing. Every time I came back and told them 4 million, they would be like, nah. They were like, nah. Like, yo. You are,
oh man, you nigga, get out of here.
I'm like, I'll give me 4 million. Give me 4 million. You get your 2 albums. You know what I mean? You get your options fixed in. You know what I mean? You own.
Oh no, come on. Bring it back. yo, shout out to the guys that are actually watching. Like, you guys keep going. Like, yo, we just trying to like teach you guys as much as we can. I think like I know like I don't want to give away where this homie stays, but like yeah, there's like bad network right now, so just hoping this buffering ends. That's some like what Tshego's talking about right now is like some really like dope chats. Like when it comes to signing, I really try my best to like educate people when it comes to signing, on the type of deals they sign, on the type of what happens in these deals. Like I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I've never actually, again, I'm gonna actually say a lot of things that I've never admitted out loud. I was there when MT was getting his when MT was getting his deal, like when they were offering him his deal. And I remember when they were negotiating it with him, like there were a lot of things that I was not like too comfortable about. I just, you know, like given the space that we were in, I just didn't know, because like also like I was also kind of tossed by Ambitious to find MT, because I booked him at Kintare and bring him to the show. But bring him to Ambitious to sign, you know. And like, and what I found, like, and no hate to Ambitious, man, I still love, like, yo, keep doing your job, man. Like, I fucks with Ambitious. Like, I'm not saying anything against them, I'm not saying anything negative. That's just that type of contracts they set up, you know. And I remember, like, in that space, I had to like literally like I was listening to what they were saying to him, like, yo, man, listen, this is the type of deal we're giving you, and these are splits, and this is, and I was like, man, I don't think these are the splits you need to be taking, you know. But it just ended up that, you know, he ended up signing with them because that's what he needed at the time. And I think that's like what we're saying. That's why we're having this conversation. Like, for me, like, again, like, I'm doing a tape, and March Madness for me is literally that. It's like, it's an education point as well. Trying to educate niggas as well. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you back? Like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, what's going on?
I'm charging my phone at the same time. Like, I'm charging my phone at the same time. I was telling me it's like, yo, it's overheating and shit. So I'm it's off.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yo,
cool.
shout out. Every time it logs out, I owe you a shot. You understand?
I bet. Do that. Okay, cool. So like, you were still explaining like the whole contract thing, man. Like, what happens with contracts and shit like that?
Oh shit! So, to the kids,
yeah.
Why the fuck would you sign your shit away for nothing? Like, for no money, for nothing. Like, why would you sign that contract? Like, hey, just sign this contract and we'll see your front, dog. Like,
yeah.
How about we do this?
Yeah.
How about no one signs a contract, right? How about we be men about this shit? How about we really see, you know, who means what? And let's move. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And let's fucking move, nigga.
Yeah.
You understand? And then I'll be like, all right, nigga, let's move. Let me prove to you that I mean what I say. Let me prove to you that I can make you some money without giving you money. Let me prove to you that I can put money in your pocket without giving you money. Because once I give you money, trust me, you're going to incur bills. You understand? You're going to incur bills. Once I give you money, you still have to go and shoot your video, which I can now recoup from. Yeah. You understand? So that's number one. I hate money. Like, I hate the advances. I think like before, while you were gone, right? So I was explaining like an instance that happened in my life, that when I learned that, you know what, like, you know, like why also I had to walk away from the nightclub business and everything was, I think MT's also admitted it in behind the label, where he was like, yo, Slim took me to Ambitious and he got me signed to Ambitious. I didn't get him signed to Ambitious. It was you, nigga. It was you.
It wasn't me. It wasn't. Hold up. Hear the story out, right? I'll admit my wrongs where I need to admit my wrongs, and I'll talk my truth where I need to talk my truth, right? So we booked MT, right? We were like, yo, because remember, we were the only club playing the song at the time. We were the only people, like, I think me and Louis the third.
Yeah, that's why I met MT. I met MT at Kintare.
Yeah, so like basically like we were the only DJs playing the song, and then like his then manager Brian walks in and he's like, yo, I got this nigga, like, you know, let's see what we can do.
And I was like, yo, play me a song. And then as soon as he played the song, I was like, yo, this nigga don't even need to audition. Like, yo, let this nigga come through. Let's do this. You know, let's kill this. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, earlier the day of his performance, I met up with the guys at Ambitious. And, you know, like, they told me, like, their vision and what they're trying to do, you know, for up-and-coming artists. And, like, that's a passion of mine. Like, yo, because I've had to go through so many challenges and difficulties. And having watched, like, you know, people like you that are my boys, that I can see, like, yo, you guys go through a lot. Like, we go through a lot just to release one song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, like, you know, this label is the type of label where people can learn how to grow and learn the business and everything, you know? So I was like, okay, cool, man, pull up. Come see this kid. I think he's worth your time, you know? Homeboy pulls up, watches this, right? Watches the performance, and then literally goes like, yo, I want this kid in. Can you bring him to the office? So I bring it to, like, yo, his manager, like, yo, man, listen, this is a situation. Can you bring the boy to the office, you know? Go have this conversation with the homie, right? Cool. What happened then was I thought, like, they'd talk and then they'd do their own thing, you know? What happened was I think the owner, like, kind of put it on me to, like, yo, man, come with him. Like, go pick him up where he's at. I'll send you gas money if need be. Yo, just make sure this kid is in my office on this day, you know? So I picked the homie up. We go see the label head, and I think that's like the biggest regret I have in that whole situation was I didn't speak up when I had the chance to. You know what I mean? I really didn't say anything because there were clauses in his contract that I was just like, nah. I was like, nah, dog. Like, I don't.
So
think
why
this
didn't you
is
say?
cool.
So why didn't you say anything, bro?
Why I didn't say anything was, like, when he explained his situation to me and what was going on in his life at the time, like, it made sense for him to sign because the structure that he had around him, like, because the thing is, if I'm
why did it make sense for him to sign though? Why did it make sense for him to sign?
Here's the thing. Let me put it for you this way. It's like, you see, if I tell you, you don't need to sign. If I had to take you to set a label and go, yo, these niggas want to see you, and I'm in the room when they're discussing the contract with you, if we walk out of that, I'm gonna hit you up like, yo, dog, I don't think you need to sign because I know that you have, like, the work ethic and the business acumen to actually go off on your own with or without this label. You'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're gonna come back to the label, then these should be the terms of your contract. You know what I mean? And the other thing also is about it is like I wasn't saying that he shouldn't sign. I was just saying he should negotiate for a better contract. That's what I tried to say. Because I did voice it to Brian. Like, yo, y'all need to just go back to these people and negotiate a better contract on these terms. I did oust it, you know what I mean? But what I realized in the time that I was with MT in the beginning was like, yo, dog, you don't have and this is no hate to him. Now that he's grown as a human being, as a person, he does have it now. But at the time, we're talking about like a 22-year-old dude who just had his baby, stressing about this, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's literally just one of those things that it's like, yo, like,
but you see, Slim, now this is the problem, right? Now, this is the problem. Like, the problem is a lot of the business men, you know what I mean? A lot of the businessmen and women, let me not even say men, like business people, right? When we come to when we just talk business, a lot of them prey on artists who are in that kind of predicament. When you say he just had a child and, you know, and blah, blah, blah. They prey on that kind of shit. You understand? They prey on that kind of shit, bro.
They do.
That's
they do.
exactly what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you, I'm going to give you a place to stay.
Come on with it. This is getting annoying. So, like, just to keep the conversation going anyway. Basically what we're talking about is like there's a praying culture with record labels right now that's happening. And record labels literally go off and they go after to get you to sign, you know? So what that does for a lot of the time for artists is I gotta just turn this because I gotta see when he comes back. Yeah, what that does for artists is like it really just puts you in a place where you're just kind of thinking about your life in that moment. And like, you know, it's a scare tactic. Like, yo, what are you gonna do on your own? What can you do? You know? I'll say this. What I was trying to get to and what I was gonna say was like my reasoning behind like going, because I spoke to the person that he needed that was like kind of he had tasked as his manager to go, I think you guys need to go back and renegotiate on these points, being the publishing, being your management. You kind of can't negotiate, but yeah, we go definitely, like, this was supposed to be recorded. I'm not gonna lie, this was supposed to be like recorded. We were supposed to actually have like a proper studio set up. We had set the whole thing up, and the COVID thing happened, man. We went under lockdown, and I think I had to just kind of cancel because of a lot of reasons. Like, we were gonna do this officially, so this was like kind of like my way of going. Like, I felt like, you know what, dog, the content still needs to be up. Like, people do need to know what's going on. So that's why we're doing it in this format. But I hope that, you know, we'll have like a deeper conversation at a later stage. Yeah, so I'm actually put up a time where we can chat. Like, I know like the numbers are dwindling when I was gone, but like, yeah. So basically, what I was just trying to do, like, was just like, with that situation is like, you got to know what kind of label deal you're signing and what kind of stuff that you need to be signing for, because they're different deals, man. Like, there's a licensing deal, there's a publishing deal, there's a 360 where they take everything, there's a management deal, there is some labels have offer PR deals. Like, I'm setting up my own label right now, and we still like trying to figure out like the type of deals that we are willing to take. But the one thing I've always said is, in my label, I am not going to ever sign anybody 360. That's why I know that I'm not going to have 25 artists. At best, I'll have like 3, because you got to be able to come with a structure of your own management, like your own management structure. Maybe we'll do your publishing. We'll definitely do your distribution and aggregation. You know, we'll definitely do your PR. But like, it's just about one of those things that when it comes to this whole talk about like labels and how to sign to a label, what to do when you sign to a label, like, you really have to educate yourself like insanely before a contract is in front of you. If anybody puts a contract in front of you and says, hey man, sign here and let's, you know, my suggestion, honestly speaking, is like, don't do it. Like, take it to a lawyer, find somebody else that's been in the industry for a long time to kind of read, not to tell you the dangers of signing, because not all labels are going to fuck you. It just depends on the contract you sign. What fucks you is not the label. They're doing their job, though. They need to maximize profits, you know. And I'm not advocating for labels. Some of them is like, again, it's predatory culture. Like, you shouldn't be preying on people's weaknesses to get them to do what you want. That's just messed up. But like, what I feel like you do need to do on your own is like literally find people in the industry that are going to take care of you, that are going to know what you're doing. Like, for me, if any label approached me to sign, it'd be based on, what are you signing me for? It'd be based on like, what do you expect of me? And what, because I'm never signing a 360. There are other labels, there are other type of contracts that I have had like artists that I've worked with over the years that have taught me. Like, I know of one artist, I'm not gonna, yeah, she taught me this, like my sister Moon. Like, Moon taught me about like culture in Europe, where you can literally license out your music. Like, you can go, okay, I'm gonna do this album, you're gonna pay me to rent out this album from me for a certain amount of time, and I'm going to use the money from this to shoot a video, do the PR, do this. But at the end of the day, this is not an advance. You're paying for a service. You're paying me to give you an album, and you have a period of time to recoup your money that you paid me for that album. So like, you could go like, okay, cool, let's say you are a Tshego or you're a Nice, you're at that level and people are coming at you. You can literally go, I don't want to sign with y'all. Like, I'm good. I'm happy with my managers. I'm happy with like how we work and how we get things done. But I want to do a little bit more and a little bit better for myself, and I don't want to be tied down to a label. So yeah, man, the real beans. Yeah, hit me up, man. So what that does, what you can do in that situation is literally like, guys, okay, anyway, like, literally, you can take that whole situation and say to them, okay, cool, I'm gonna give you the album for $1 million, whatever the price, 100,000, 10,000, whatever you decide your album is worth, right? And go, given how much I'm charging you for this, given how quickly and this is the thing, that's why if you know the business end of it and how things work, you actually can negotiate this type of deal where you're like literally going, oh, given that this happens like that, and the recuperation of money from Samros like this, from Capasos like that, from Risas like that, from Apple Music, streams work like this, these streams work like this, because not all streaming platforms pay the same. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube pays like 0.0076 cents. Like, that's like not even a real cent. Like, it pays like for each stream. So for you to get to like $1, for instance, right, it will take you a couple of streams, you know what I mean, to get to $1. So like that's the whole situation there. It's like if you understand that type of situation and you know how quickly you look at the numbers that you have and you look at like if I'm sitting on 1 million streams without you guys, then if we start marketing and we start PRing and we start really pushing the name, then we should get to 1 million streams a lot quicker, which means we should be able to get past that million a lot quicker. And given how the calculation works, you're going to make X amount of money from these streams.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Damn, that I lost everybody. Okay, cool. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with this. Let me actually call people and find out what's going on. But I'm gonna definitely. Oh, okay, cool. People are already here. So going back to what I was saying about the whole signing thing and everything. Like, yo, people should just really learn like the contracts that they're signing and how you do these type of calculations, because now I think like I'm in a position to, what I want my label to be is like a jumping board to the next thing. And you should always know that I'm going to negotiate the best contract. Like that's what I try and tell. Oh, hell yeah. Like, the question was, what do you think Nasty did? Oh, fuck yes, bro. What? Nasty is one of the people that learned this. I think he had like a team that was so great that they were able to actually do this without, like, every time he signed a contract. Like Nasty, every time Nasty has signed a contract, I'm telling you right now for free, every time Nasty has signed a contract, they knew the next step, like the next 5 years. Like when this whole thing came out yesterday that like, yo, Nasty C signs a Def Jam. Yo, let me tell you something. I was not surprised. Like the way these niggas were. That I could understand, like them signing and them not signing, was like that team. Even until now, even though members have left and whatever, like that team has always had like that guy's always had like a plan and how he's gonna do it. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell people like, yo, the difference between the two was like if you dealing with life problems, actual life problems, and yes, the label can be a predator and prey on you for that reason, but if your team and your people in that space at that time are educated enough to say something, they will say something. You know what I mean? When it came to the MT situation, I just didn't trust the people around him to go, these niggas, I don't know. And no hate to the niggas. I'm not talking about like the ATM crew and whatever, those people. Those are my boys. One love to them. I just, like the higher structures that were involved with him at the time, I did not know if they could take him to the level that he needed to be at. And that's like the whole challenge that people need to just understand about that. That is like, it's a very difficult thing to say that who can sign and who can't. You know, a Tshego who has had years in advance of like learning this industry, signing is a bad decision. You know what I mean? Like you also have to like you said, you gotta know like, can I do this on my own? Do I have the support structure to do this on my own? Right? Can I do these? These are the questions that I think an artist should ask themselves before they should sign. Can I do it on my own? Do I need these people? What value are you bringing at me? And don't take any money. If you ever take any money before you sign, they own you. Don't ever take any money from any record label if you sign. If anybody comes at you like, yo, sign whatever, don't ever do that. Like that's literally like the worst thing you can ever do with your life. Like for real. But like this is the March Madness sit down. I just didn't pin it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But this is like the March Madness sit down. I think like today I saw like the beauty of this. I think I'm gonna do it like with a lot of people. I might do one tomorrow or later today even. No, they do. No. Zenzo dog, they actually do. Like the thing is about Def Jam is like they've changed like the American business model in terms of artists. Like because Zenzo says like Def Jam does not make you own your own masters in this day and age, and artists must own their catalog. Yes, artists must own their catalog. It just so what you must understand about like what companies like Rock Nation and Def Jam have done, because remember these are black owned companies. Like for instance, I'll show you a very simple instance. Like with Def Jam, they opened a subsidiary called All Def Digital. Please go check it out. Like there's a dope YouTube page, and like Like, you look at the content that they do. It just depends on how much they're paying. Like, again, if you take money from these individuals, you are understanding that, like, a certain amount of it, like, you're giving away rights to your music. But this is the difference of what the money is for. Like, for instance, like, there are a lot of artists that own their catalog. They own a substantial amount of their catalog. They don't own it 100% outright. Like, you can't own your masters 100% outright when you take advances from people. That much you must just understand, you know. But what you can do, like I said, is lease your master to somebody. You can literally sit down with a label, and I hope that I want to have actually this conversation. Maybe I should hit up. I should hit up VG. Because he works at UMG. I think I might hit up VG as well, because, like, this whole March Madness thing has got me thinking. But when it comes to that situation with masters and everything, it's literally dependent on the deal you sign. Like, right now, in this day and age, I can tell you that it's very rare. Like, artists realize late because they got preyed on. Like, for instance, Megan Thee Stallion was complaining the other day about her label and whatever, and she wanted to renegotiate the terms of a contract because they did own everything that she was doing. And to a certain extent, they owned the way she was running her brand. And that's the whole situation. But if you look where they found Megan and where Megan is, are two different stages, which means you can see the cash injection over time that they were doing. And obviously, man, like, if you go from living in your mama house to buying or living in an apartment or living in a house, my nigga, unless you, and we didn't know about you yesterday, like, come on, bro. Come on, you know what I mean? And ownership, like, shout outs to Aubrey, man. Like, big ups to Aubrey one time, man. He's like, he says, ownership is wealth. Ownership is definitely wealth. You definitely need to own your stuff. My question is, can you own it 100%? Do you need to own it 100%? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And to what extent, like, when I say that is, again, it's just about the negotiation. You really can negotiate. Like, when a label comes at you, they know what they can get out of you. So immediately at that point, like, unless you go to the label, it's a bad idea. But if a label comes to you and says they want to sign you, then I think that is going to, you're going to need to definitely, without a doubt, like, know what you want from the label. And if they're coming at you, you're in the position you have the power to negotiate. That's the one thing you must never forget. You have the power to negotiate. So negotiate. Don't just sit there and take whatever they put in front of you. Negotiate. You know what I mean? Like, sit there and go, okay, cool. This is what I want. Like, I learned, like, from a friend of mine who's a lawyer. He's like, when you're walking into a negotiation thing, think of the most outrageous number you could get from these people. And then think of a midpoint and think of the lowest number. You understand what I mean? Like, the one that you wouldn't want to take, the type of deal you wouldn't want to take. And then fight for the middle point. You know what I mean? 100% is better. Like, you know what I mean? 100% is better. Like, for me, dog, like, I'll show you the type of deals that we try to set up with my label. We literally trying to go to a point where, and this is an ongoing conversation with my partners, with the people that I'm asking to invest into my label, me and my lawyer and everybody. And, like, what we literally want to do is, like, yo, man, look, check it out. If we put money into your situation, the deal that we set up is, like, we want to set up is, like, we will give you we own a part of your masters for 10 years off the bat. We own 30% of your masters, you keep 70 for 10 years, right? But that also, like, the more percentage you give us, the less, you know, the more we will be able to put money into this. You know, the more money we can put in. The less you give us, the less we're willing to put in. Just, you know, because we have to recoup this money back. But the fun part about it, where people think I'm crazy about this, is after that 10 years, you get to keep your publishing. You know what I mean? And if I've recouped my money, and then here's the thing, here's another clause. Like, let's say I put 200,000 into an artist, right? If I recoup that 200,000, be it from shows, bookings, publishing, whatever, if I recoup that money within 3 months, the contract flips. It goes back to 100% ownership, because now I've got my money. I'm good. Like, the money I've put in, I have it now. What happens then is we kick in a management contract solely on that. You know what I mean? That what happens is we just literally kick in a management contract where we take care of your bookings, we do your artist negotiations with brands, we do that. And that's the beauty of, like, that type of label. I feel like that's a structure that's going to change the way that record labels operate 10, 20 years from now. But listen, I'm going to be back. I'm going to hit you guys back up. I'm going to try and get a hold of Tshego. I think his phone is like Steam Flames. So I'm going to try and get a hold of Tshego and maybe see if we can do this later, or if we can do it on another day, continue the conversation. But the one thing that I just wanted to say to you guys, like, I've got a tape coming out. It's called March Madness. It's coming out on the 31st. please go check it out. Like, I'm begging you, please go check this thing out. And basically the label. So the tape comes out. I think I'm gonna have a bit of a listening session. We're still trying to set up how we're gonna do that on IG.